All right, so this is like coming full circle for you. You started The Strain as an idea for a television show, and you couldn't get it to shopping around. No one wanted to pick it up, so you took it a different direction. But now you're bringing it back to television.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
You know, I feel sort of happy and vindicated both, and I feel that it was important that it saw the light as it was conceived. Fortunately, partnering up with Carlton, we're in the hands of somebody that has done it many, many times. We are all working very hard into making the best show possible, and hopefully people will agree that it belongs on TV.
Now, folks that are familiar with the source material know that there's some pretty big changes coming. So, are you excited to start getting into some of the meatier stuff this season?
Yeah, totally. I mean, even within the first season, there's an incredible arc. We go from status quo to pretty much bordering on anarchy. That was really one of the things that really appealed to me the most when I first was approached with the role, was the journey. That instead of the sort of typical sort of procedural TV thing where you're a character who's the same in every episode, dealing with the plot that sort of. The plot and the guest stars sort of change around you, but you sort of have to be this sort of rock. It's more fluid than that, and my character can really be a different person from episode to episode and really grow and change. And F, as this season goes on and into the next season, is sort of stripped down more and more. It's the general idea is, from knowledge to wisdom, but between those two, there's a lot of being lost in the wilderness.
I think Jim has remorse. Whether or not the audience is going to have remorse for Jim remains to be seen. But with only 2 episodes out, you don't know why did he let that coffin go. Did he know what it was when he let it go? Did he? It's pretty clear, I think, that Jim's a good guy. He wants to help. He wants to serve Corey Stoll's character, and he wants to serve people through his work with the CDC, as you mentioned. But he also is connected to this, underworld group of very well connected, very well financed, possibly otherworldly people who are importing this devilry into Manhattan. So, and he has to be. He's responsible for his actions, and he does the wrong thing.
It was we were quite lucky to have this very first scene written in such an intense manner and with so many layers that it brings your attention to their backstory, actually. And that's exactly what happens then in the other episodes that will follow, in the first seasons, by the way. In the first season, where you can actually really understand what is the start of their relationship and how this relationship evolved through these 70 years until we reach the contemporary time.
All right, what was it about this show in particular that attracted you guys and made you want to be involved?
I think for me it was the heart of the character. I think it shows a different side of someone that comes from the street, the human element of it, the heart of it. It's not just being mean or bad for no reason. There's a purpose to it. It gives you, I think the way he dresses, the way he looks, it's all his battle armor. That's his armor from coming from where he comes from. It's not just to be a mean guy for no reason. There's something there. There's a lot of heart there, and I think they show that side of it rather than just one point of view.
Nice to meet you.
It's Guillermo del Toro. I get to play a rock star turned vampire. It couldn't be the furthest thing from me. So, it's just fun.
What did you feel like the first time you saw yourself in the full goth getup with the wig and everything?
I liked it. Because it's so far from me, and I just enjoy dressing up. It's like being a kid, So I loved it. I was playing with my hair, getting it braided. It was a great time.
Your character in this show, I love the introduction. He seems like such a complete badass there in that first pawn shop scene. So please tell me we're going to get some more of that as the season goes on.
Well, I like to think that whatever he does for his own reasons. He's such a complicated and interesting man, and I don't know if sorts out any more hoodies along the way, but he certainly has to do some pretty ruthless stuff to get what he wants, by whatever means. So
he becomes an action hero.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Yeah,
You're an action hero.
Yeah.
You are the hero.
I've waited all my life for this.
The sword will sing with him and swing.
One thing that really stands out to me is the show is so cinematic. Your use of lighting and color, and it doesn't look like anything else that's on television. So can you talk a little bit about the choices you guys made to make it stand out?
Well, I am completely in charge of supervising and approving every visual effect you see in the show. All of it. Makeup effects go through me also. And finally, what you're saying, the final correction of color of cinematography goes through me on every episode. And it's because I wanted a certain uniformity of style so that directors can come and go, but there's a unity on certain aspects on the visual design of the show. Carlton has a beautiful handle on editing, sound design, and we just make sure that the show has those values that we established in the pilot, but also goes further and further.
Our genre, we have many different genres in the show. We have like a lot of drama and sci-fi and horror, and then we have this monsters that is like nothing you've ever seen, and that comes with Guillermo's vision. And it's really wonderful just to be able to do the show and know that Guillermo is behind us, because you know that everything will be done with the furthermost detail and just attention in every possible way. So I think it's quite different. Yeah, it's a bit more cinematic, I would say.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and also our cast is quite different. It's quite international. So yeah, it's a unique show.
It's glorious. I mean, you know that the effects are going to be good. I just never thought they'd be quite so compellingly. Just the sheer fabric of it is so knitted in. It's gorgeous.
It's incredible how he makes horrifying things so beautiful.
The lighting is so beautiful.
You can't help but be compelled by the aesthetic of everything. It's just you just can't look away.
I can.
Well, hopefully the audience can't either.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. What can you tell me about working on this show and working with someone like Guillermo del Toro?
For me, it's a dream come true, and I still haven't even wrapped my head around it. I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm grateful. It's one of my favorite filmmakers, and it's a great role. It's exciting. You get to go through a transition that's probably never going to come around again. Not only from a human to a vampire, but an eccentric character. So it's a lot to chew on, and it's great.
Yeah, it's a dream come true to have be led by somebody like him. I feel like I have a big bodyguard on set, you know what I mean? So him being from Mexico and my character, and there's things I can get away with and try and look to him and say like,
right.
He did it, so it's a lot of fun, man. I can't complain.
It was amazing. It's basically a dream come true. I love Guillermo's work, and this is like the perfect project for Guillermo. He loves it. It's his baby. He wrote 3 novels on it. He loves these characters. So to be able to portray Nora, it's kind of like a dream.
Well, I was going to say the difference between Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro is in the strain, I got to wear shoes. That's, 2 years in New Zealand wearing Hobbit feet, you notice. You get a little, your arches fall. No, I'm kidding.
No pointy ears, anything like that.
You know what is so great about, everybody knows the answer to that. Your audience already knows the answer to the question, which is that they are nerds themselves, that they have the same level of passion and excitement for design, for artistry, for creature effects, for stories, for characters, that these guys do. And the thing that's amazing about them is they've been able to protect that part of themselves and break through to decision makers, break through to money people, and break through to actors. A lot of guys come up to you and they say, I've got this idea and it's a creature and his eyeball comes out, and you think, wow, man, good for you, that's awesome. But they found a way to do it where now everybody wants to be a part of their world. So it's a testament to them, and they're blazing a trail for a lot of nerds everywhere.
It's blissful.
Yeah, it really kind of is blissful, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you said before, he really truly sets the tone in a way that you know, when you get in the car in the morning, and the drivers on the production, the catering, everybody in the entire production has nothing but to sing lovely praises, lovely melodies of praise for him. So it's pretty amazing to work with somebody like that. Everybody knows how lucky they are to be there and to get to help him tell the story. Right?